were also steeped in the effects of a settler colonial ecology, like what that means in terms of how we need to be and show up, and what safety means, and what production means, and what connection means. So we've all experienced versions of it. And, again, I think it's Angela Davis that reminded us, if I'm not mistaken, about radical just meaning, grabbing, returning to the root of a thing. Right. That's really what that means. So for the root for most humans is about connection and safety, and that we recognize our wounds that come from, no one escapes childhood unscathed. Right. And that child is also often the driver of the actions we take. And so just giving it a little bit of light, which is what the language around decoloniality often does, is to say, there's a reason that even though you've gone along with this thing, a part of you is like, yeah, but, and there's a reason why this thing, even though you do this, there's also that. I find that people get that. People end up saying, yeah, when I had my first kid at this age, like that's more so the conversation, because it is such a base level thing to want to feel a sense of belonging and to participate in that, and to acknowledge where you don't know, and that it's not your fault. There's a systemic component, and that you can then, with the recognition of that and some languaging and practice and some community around that, you might not be able to move and vote in a way that allows the land that you live on to be returned to the stewards, the original stewards. That feels insurmountable. But if you can be in a different relationship with the people around you, because now you're aware of that mindset, and now you don't have to figure out as much, because you actually are learning to become a better listener and less defensive, because you're in practice, then you are shifting the system by not being complicit in the same ways. So if you move in different, you attract in different, you practice in different, and that idea of small is all, then you're gonna pollinate other circles. You're gonna. So any means necessary, right? So we're not gonna discount that, and we're also not gonna make someone else wrong for buying into other things that feel like liberation work, that, what I'm saying? So it allows for that expansiveness of that approach to decoloniality. We march in, we vote in, for some of us, and then for others of us, I'm in a different relation. Can we talk? Because when you said such and such, I didn't understand, and it felt like this. So then now, as a result of that, I'm not seeing you as this way. I recognize what I'm doing here and why I was defensive, and how that's rooted in this thing. And now we can have a conversation that isn't just like, how could you? It's like, actually, I get it. But now that we have that awareness, I wonder what we can do together from here. It's not, that doesn't feel as mighty and out of your hands as voting in the right person, which can feel futile.